Hi guys, this is Sadek from Debugging.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to flash the latest crDroid ROM based on Android 14 onto your OnePlus 9 Pro. So please take a backup of all the data on your phone and then let's get started. First and foremost, you will have to install Android SDK platform tools. So get it from my guide and extract them onto your PC. You could extract them anywhere you want. In my case, I've done the extraction in C drive. As you could see, these are the files of platform tools from here. So let me just remove a couple of extra files. Just a minute, and these are the files of platform tools. So extract them onto your PC. Once that is done, your next course of action is to enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. So for that, USB debugging is required to execute ADB command, whereas OEM unlocking is required to unlock the bootloader on your phone. So let's now enable both this toggle. For that, go to settings menu. Then from there, you have to go to about device. Then go to version and tap on build number 7 times. You will get a prompt that you are now in developer mode. Once that happens, go back, again go back, then go to additional settings and you should now see developer option. So go there and enable the toggle next to OEM unlocking as well as USB debugging. You will get a prompt on your phone, tap on OK. You might get an RC key prompt as well. So tap on allow, and with this, debugging is now enabled. Let's verify the same. So type in CMD in the address bar and hit enter. This will launch command prompt inside platform tools folder. And now you have to type in ADB devices and make sure that you are getting a serial ID. If you are not getting any ID, then unplug and replug your phone from the PC, disable and re-enable USB debugging, tap on revoke USB debugging, use the official cable that came with your phone, and use the USB 2.0 port on your PC. So carry out this USB tweaks and make sure that you are getting an ID. Once you are getting this ID, you are now good to go ahead. So next up, you will now have to unlock the bootloader on your phone. Do note that doing so will wipe off all the data and it might make the warranty null and void as well. So if that's well and good, then you could refer to my guide and get this job done. In short, you just have to boot your phone to Fastboot mode and then use the Fastboot flashing unlock command. After that, use the volume keys to select unlock the bootloader and press the power key to confirm. With this, the bootloader will be unlocked, and once that is done, you can now move ahead to the next step. So now you will have to download the crDroid ROM. So go to this link, it's official link, and from here, get hold of the ROM file from here, the download latest version. So download the ROM file, and apart from that, if you want, the GApps is optional. So in my case, I want to flash GApps as well, so I will be downloading the GApps. So you could go to my link and then download the GApp packages from here. So there are quite a few GApp packages. As you could see, the core is the minimal GApp packages with just 5 Google apps. As you could see, the 5 most important. Then comes the Go. You could ignore this one because it's only for the Android Go versions mostly. Apart from that is the basic GApp, which is the most popular. So it has everything from the core version and then a few other Google app. So I'll be using the basic GApps. You are free to use any one of your choice. Then comes the Omni GApp, which is even more larger than the basic. And the stock GApps is everything from the Omni and many more Google apps. Then lastly, we have the full GApps, which contains all the Google app packages and is the most heaviest one among all of them. So in this regard, the basic GApps is the most popular one and the core GApps is the most lightest one with only 5 apps. So you could choose the one of your choice. In my case, I'm going with the basic GApps. So you could download it from the below link. I've given the link for many GApp packages. As of now, I'll be using the Nick GApps. So simply go to this link and you could download their latest build from here. So, or you could also do one thing, go to the crDroid site and get the GApp packages from here. Let's see what they recommend. So they are also recommending Nick GApps. So you could also download the Nick GApps build from here. And let's do that as well. So both the GApps are the same. You could either download this one or the one given in my guide. Anyways, with this, we have got the GApp packages as well as the ROM. So now you will have to transfer both the ROM and the GApps to the platform tools folder on your PC. So transfer both these files over here. So this is the crDroid ROM, as you could see, the latest build. So copy it and let's transfer it here. And apart from that, we'll also have to transfer the GApps. So GApps is completely optional and only download it if you want. In my case, I'll be flashing, so I'm using it. So let's just wait for the transfer to complete. It will take only a few seconds. Anyways, while the transfer is going on, let's move ahead with the next step. So now you will have to boot your phone to fastboot mode. So let's get that job done. So open CMD window and type in ADB, reboot, bootloader and hit enter. And your phone will now boot into fastboot mode in a matter of few seconds. So let's just wait for the time frame and then we'll proceed ahead. So you will get the fastboot screen on your OnePlus device shortly. And we are now in the fastboot mode, as you could see. So now type in fastboot devices and hit enter, and you should now get a serial ID. If you are not getting any ID, then simply unplug and replug your phone from the PC. And apart from that, you will also have to install fastboot drivers. So in my case, I'm getting the serial ID. If you are not getting any ID, then you will have to install fastboot drivers on your PC. So I made a separate guide on this. You could refer to my guide or the video and get this job done. Once you have installed the drivers, use the Windows X shortcut keys and choose Device Manager. Now expand the Android phone section and make sure that your phone is being shown as Android bootloader interface. So this, as well as the serial ID next to fastboot devices, signify that your PC is able to read the phone in fastboot mode, and we are now good to go ahead. Now, before moving any further, before flashing the firmware, I will recommend you to flash the super empty IMG file as well, because in some cases I have seen, especially on OnePlus 9 Pro, when flashing the Android 14 ROM. So in those cases, some have said that they are getting an error applying update 7 while sideloading the ROM package. So to avoid that from happening, you will have to use the super empty IMG file. So I will link that file in the video description as well as in my guide as well. So you could download that file from my guide. While this is not compulsory, but I will still recommend you to use this command and use the super empty IMG file to wipe the super partition, and only then proceed ahead to flash the custom ROM. So in your OnePlus 9 Pro, whenever you are flashing an AOSP ROM based on Android 14, I will recommend you to wipe the super partition using this super empty IMG file to make room for the new ROM, and only then do the ADB sideload process. So first and foremost, let's use the super empty IMG file. So just a minute, I'll link that file. So this is the file, super empty IMG file. Transfer the file to the platform tools folder on your PC. And once that is done, open the CMD window. And now you just have to copy paste this command. So copy this command and paste it here and hit enter. And the super partition has been wiped via the super empty.img file. Once that is done, we could now proceed ahead. So let's now get back to the guide. So now you will have to flash the files of the crDroid ROM using the firmware flasher tool. So let me show you. You will have to download the tool from here. So go to this link and download the latest version, which is this one. You could verify the same from the date as well. So get hold of the firmware flasher, and once you have got the firmware flasher, it will be in a zip format. So simply extract the firmware flasher onto your phone, onto your PC. So as you could see, this is the firmware flasher tool. Extract them, and upon extraction you will get all these files. So let me show you. You will get all these files. So what you have to do now is simply start the flashing of this. For that, you will just have to launch the update firmware.batch file, and it will automatically flash all these files on your phone. So let me show you as well. If we open this file, as you could see, it's doing nothing else but simply flashing the files in the fastboot and the fastboot D mode automatically. For example, fastboot flash slot vendor boot DTBO, and then it will reboot into fastboot D mode and then flash the remaining files. These are the files from the custom ROM. It will flash all these files, and once the flashing is done, it will automatically reboot your phone to the recovery mode. So let's just wait for the flashing to complete, which might take a while, around 4 to 5 minutes. And as soon as the flashing is done, your phone will reboot into recovery mode. So let's just wait for the time frame. So in the meantime, you will get a prompt as soon as the flashing in the fastboot mode is complete. During the process, you might get a few prompts, such as is asking you to update modem. So let's type in yes and hit enter. Similarly, you might come across a few other prompts. So make sure to decide according to the need and requirement of your phone. It's completely up to you, but if there is asking for an update, then it's recommended to reply in Y or yes. As you could see, the flashing in the fastboot mode is done, and now we have moved to the fastboot D mode. Your phone will automatically boot into the fastboot D mode, and this is the fastboot D mode of the crDroid ROM and not the stock OnePlus 9 Pro. So this is the crDroid ROM and the flashing is now going on. Please don't interact with your phone while the flashing is going on. Let it do all the flashing, and as you could see, you will now get to the recovery in order to install the crDroid. So our phone will now reboot into recovery mode. So hit any key to continue and press the any key. The CMD mode will now be closed, and now we are into the crDroid recovery mode. So now that we are in the recovery, we could proceed ahead with the next step. So once the flashing is complete, you will now have to do a factory reset. So go to factory reset, then select format data factory reset and tap on format data. Do note that this will wipe off all the data from your phone. So make sure you have taken the backup beforehand. Once that is done, tap on format data and it will do a wipe. Once you get a data wipe complete message, you could now move ahead. So now you will once again have to reboot your phone to recovery. So you could either use the ADB command or simply do so from here. So from the recovery home screen, go to advanced and select reboot to recovery. Your phone will once again reboot to crDroid recovery. Once that happens, we could then move ahead and flash the crDroid ROM. So let's just wait for the phone to reboot to the recovery mode, and then we could proceed ahead with the next step. So we are now in the crDroid recovery, and now we could do a side load. So for that, you will have to go to apply update and select apply from ADB. With this, your phone is now in the ADB side load mode. So open CMD window and type in ADB devices and make sure that you are getting a serial ID and is showing the side load keyword. This signifies that your phone is in the side load mode and you could now move ahead. So before moving ahead, I will once again recommend you that you flash the super empty IMG file. If you haven't done so yet, then please go to fastboot mode and flash this super empty IMG to wipe the super partition. If you have already done that, then simply skip it. But if you haven't done so, then please do so right away, or else you might get this error message. This error message does not happen in every case. It only happens in some cases. But still, to be on the safer side, I will still recommend you to flash the super empty IMG file to wipe the super partition. And once that is done, you could then once again come back to the ADB side load mode. In our case, we have already done the flashing, so we could now move ahead with the side load. So now we will have to side load the ROM. For side loading the ROM, it's recommended to move the ROM to the platform tools folder, as you could see. Likewise, rename the file to something shorter so that it becomes easier to type in the CMD window. So let's just rename it to ROM, and the complete name becomes rom.zip. Now open CMD window and type in ADB sideload rom.zip and hit enter, and the side loading of the ROM file will now begin. It could take up to around 5 to 6 minutes, or in some cases even up to 10 minutes. So let's just wait for the time frame. So guys, the flashing is now complete on your phone. You should see an install complete with status 0. So this signifies that we are done with the flashing. So once that is done, now comes the part of flashing GApps. If you don't want to flash GApps, then just tap on reboot system now. On the other hand, if you want to flash GApps, then I will recommend you to do a reboot to the recovery mode and then flash GApps. So in my case, I want to flash the GApp package as well. So I will do a reboot to recovery. If you don't want to flash GApps, then just tap on reboot system now. So since flashing GApps require a reboot, so let's go to advanced and select reboot to recovery. And our phone should now reboot to the crDroid recovery. And we could then move ahead and flash the GApps packages onto our phone. So for that, make sure that the GApps should be transferred in the platform tools folder. So let me copy it from here and transfer it here. Now for the ease of convenience, let's rename the GApp file to something shorter. So let's just rename it to GApps and the complete name becomes gapps.zip. So now let's do a side load of the GApp packages as well. You will now have to boot your phone to the side load mode. So select apply update, then choose apply from ADB, and your phone is now in the ADB side load mode. So let's now do the side loading of GApp packages. So just type in ADB side load and the name of the file, which is gapps.zip, and hit enter, and the side loading of the file will now begin, and it will take only around a couple of minutes at the very max. So let's just wait for the flashing to complete. And as of now, I'm using the NIC GApps, which is given by the crDroid ROM themselves. That is why it's the recommended for this ROM. And the GApps is now installing. Depending on the package that you have chosen, the flashing time will vary. So in my case, I have used the basic GApps, which includes everything from code, these 5 apps. And apart from that, there are a few other 5 to 6 apps. So you are free to choose any variant of your choice, with the full GApps having all the Google apps and the core GApps having the minimal number of Google apps, just these 5 apps. So the choice is all yours. I'll be linking this guide as well in the description. You could refer to my guide and get this job done. Likewise, these are the download link for the Android 14 GApps packages. So with that said, as you could see, the flashing is now done, and we could now reboot our phone to the OS. So tap on reboot system now, and our phone should now reboot to the crDroid ROM based on Android 14 onto our OnePlus 9 Pro. So let's first verify the boot animation. If that appears, then it signifies the flashing has gone well and good. If that does not happen, then we'll verify the result as well, the log file, and then we will check for the issues. So as you could see, we are now in the boot animation. So this signifies that the flashing is complete, and we will now have to wait for the ROM to boot up. Do keep in mind that the first boot up will take up some additional time frame. This is completely normal and nothing to worry about. From the subsequent time, it will not be that much longer. And if you have flashed GApps, then it will also load all the Google app and packages, and that will also cause a few second delay. But again, all these delay are just for the first time usage. From subsequent boot up, there will be no such delay. With that said, we are now in the OS. So I will quickly skip the setup process. So if the UI is not working, then just do a simple screen lock and unlock it, and it should now work, as you could see. So let's set up offline as of now, and tap on more, accept. Then let me skip this as well. And with this, we are now in the crDroid ROM. This is the latest one based on Android 14. So the app drawer has the transparency. This is the first change that I witnessed, and this is the QS toggles. This is the settings menu, as you could see from here, and the crDroid settings contains quite a lot of customization. In fact, the ROM is known for this, to maintain an equilibrium between the features as well as the overall system status. So even after having so many features, the ROM will not feel bloated, and it will still be quite stable in performance. So with that said, these are the status bar tweaks, and these are the icons in the status bar. Then the clock style, clock, date, and colored icons for notification on the status bar. Then you could also display a logo to the left or right of the status bar, and these are quite a lot of logos. So let's go for biohazard, and as you could see at the top left, then these are the battery style customization. Then tap to sleep, let's check that as well. So it's working. Then we have the brightness control and quick pull down from the right, so you will be able to do so directly in the expanded state. Then we have the QS settings regarding the battery style, battery percent, and its tiles layout, QS tiles layout, how many number of tiles you want to see over there. Then animations, for example, if you select flip X, then it will rotate on the X-axis, and flipping on Y will rotate on the Y-axis. Apart from, then we have some of the lock screen tweaks. For instance, the clock font style. There are quite a lot of font styles in this clock styles rather. So if you choose this one and close, so as you could see, the clock style has changed. It's a lock screen clock style, and there are endless number of clock styles, as you could see from here. Then we have a media art cover for media player, battery info, tap to sleep, fingerprint authentication, advanced power menu for directly booting to recovery, and bootloader, which is the Fastboot. And it also has a Fastboot D mode, which is in fact quite nice to see because many custom ROM ignore that option. Then we have a navigation bar tweaks, and you could invert the layout of the recent app and the back apps. Then these are the few gestures that you could assign. Quite a lot of gestures you could assign to these tweaks. Then we have the button click to take a partial screenshot, power menu, and score. Then you would assign a few functions to the volume button as well. Then these are the UI tweaks, ambient display. The sensor based tweaks might end up taking some battery, so make sure if you want to go for this trade-off or not. Decide accordingly according to your needs. Then we have a monet based theme engine which will automatically pick up the most dominant color from the wallpaper. And then we have the background color tweaks as well, and then force the apps to go to full screen and screen off animation. We could choose the CRT I guess is from the Sony Xperia phones which earlier used to came out. They had this animation. Then a few monet settings. Then icon packs. There are quite a lot of icon packs inbuilt. This is similar to Samsung's One UI. Then this is the signal styles, the data style. Currently I don't have a SIM card, so you might not be able to see. Then these are the Wi-Fi icon style packs. Then these are the icon shapes. So this is the cat icon shape, as you could see, and it's just for the show off purpose. Doesn't look nice although. And then we have a few notification tweaks as well from here. Then it's regarding the sound, the audio interface, navigation pulse on the navigation bar when you play any sound. Likewise, the pulse will also appear on the lock screen if you want. Ambient pulse on the AOD screen. So if you play any audio, then the pulse will be shown on those screens. Then you could customize the number of volume steps for each of these: ringer, alarm, and DND. Then there are a few miscellaneous tweaks as well, such as the gaming space, unlocking higher FPS in the games, then Netflix spoof. So in custom ROM, usually the wide one L1 certification downgrades to L3 and you will not be able to watch Netflix in full HD. However, after toggling on this feature, the wide one will again go to L1 and you will be able to watch all the DRM content, whether it's the Netflix or the Hulu or Amazon Prime, in full HD without any issues. Likewise, your phone, it will get unlimited Google Photo storage. It is done by spoofing your phone to Pixel XL, because that is the only phone which still has unlimited storage in full quality. Then there is swipe to take screenshot, partial screenshot, and pocket detection. Again, such sensor features will lead to battery drainage, so please make sure to enable or disable according to your needs. Then, so as you might have seen, there are a plethora of options regarding the tweaks and customizations in this ROM, which is based on the latest Android 14. So guys, on that note, I round off this video. If you have any queries with regard to any of the steps, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.